In a brewing physical conflict, a pepper spray can be a very effective tool to end the fight. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson from Honolulu, Hawaii. This one was actually a cell phone video sent to me by an active self-protection fan of a brewing fight between a man who looks like he's got some mental issues and a security guard. And it's going to teach us some important lessons about maintaining distance, about what a brewing physical fight looks like, and how fast OC spray can end a fight. What we see here is this guy is jumping around and he's clearly on some kind of a narcotic and not right. And you can see the officer here is on his mobile. He is on his radio getting some help coming his way because you don't want to deal with a threat like this by yourself if you don't have to. Now, if you weren't law enforcement, get out of the danger zone. Get away from this guy as far as you can. But this officer can't do that. So he has to stay somewhat in the vicinity. And now you see the guy starting to get physical. He's going to get, his hands on the officer. So the officer's like, okay, I'm not having that. Grabs his pepper spray out of his belt, and now there's some other people around as well, and this guy's going to go after the bystander there, and the officer gets in between them. Again, that's his job, and when the guy keeps coming and keeps getting physical, what we're going to see here is things are going to go south. I love how the officer's got his hands out there, and then he's going to use a little OC spray there and season this dude fairly liberally. Doesn't take a whole lot, gets him across the eyebrows, ear to ear, and just takes the starch completely out of this guy. And it's that simple. This guy was really aggressive. He was all kinds of energetic, and that OC spray took the heat right out of him. Now, it doesn't work on everybody. About 85 to 90% of people, though, this is exactly what it'll do. Now, these officers are going to take a little minute to figure out how we're going to get this guy, but they're going to finally get him in some cuffs, get him down a little bit, but the fight's not completely over. When another officer shows up here, they're going to try to figure out, man, how are we going to get this guy in a squad car and get him where he's safe? And he's going to get upset because that OC certainly is still hurting him like crazy, and he's going to take a couple kicks at these officers, and he's not quite out of it yet, but with three of them, they're going to be able to get the polyester pile up here and get this guy in custody where he can't hurt him anymore, and this one's over. A few lessons I want to go back and learn from this one. First of all is controlling distance. Again, if you're a CCW here, if you're not a law enforcement officer, get out of this danger zone. Don't stay anywhere near this guy if you can possibly help it. But this officer has to stay there. It's part of his responsibility to serve and protect. So he's got to kind of deal with this dude for what he is. Otherwise, get out of there. And what we're going to see here is, as you see very first, this guy initiates the physical contact. This went from a verbal thing to a physical fight, and the officer does a good job there of keeping his hands up in that interview ready position so that when the attack comes, he's able to move back, he's able to get his hands up, protect his face and his head and his neck. Now, he sees that guy going, oh, okay, I got your number now, fam, and gets his less lethal out. This isn't a great time for a firearm. Firearm's not a useful tool here, but the OC spray is. When you've got a physical threat that isn't a physical fight right now, but a physical threat, that's the time to have the OC spray out, and he does a good job of that. I also love here that the officer is using his offhand. Notice that his hand there, he's got his hand out, palm out, and he's trying to calm this guy down. Use his verbal judo. Keep this guy from escalating the conflict any farther. And that's incredibly wise. It's exactly what you want to do, but it doesn't work in this instance, and that's not on him. He has a dog in the hunt as well. Now you notice here that now the officer has started his spray, and you just see just a little bit. It's just off the guy's ear, and he's going to go from ear to ear right across the guy's eyebrows. That's a textbook OC spray, and that's exactly what they teach anywhere you learn how to use OC spray. Gets him right across the face, and it takes the starch right out of him. The thing with OC is it doesn't just hurt, it completely inundates your mucous membranes, and it is just impossible to see, and everything starts feeling like fire. Takes the starch right out of him, which is why I think OC is an excellent tool. Now then, again, if you're a civilian here, if you're a CCW holder, just get out of there. Let the cops deal with him. But these cops do have to deal with him. And I think they're probably reticent here because they know as soon as they go hands-on, they're going to get an exposure to the OC as well. Nothing they're going to be able to do about that, but they got to get the guy in custody. It's a limitation of the OC. Next, again, when things go down, you got to recognize, even though the guy can't see it, doesn't mean he doesn't have any fight in him. So you better be aware and better be careful of that. So he gets a couple of thankfully ineffective kicks on that second officer who had come in, and then they're able to take him into custody. Therefore, I want to just tell you, control the distance. Keep your hands in that interview-ready position. Use your verbal judo to the best of your ability. An OC spray can be a great tool against a non-lethal threat to get that threat to just get out of there so that you don't have it escalate to a deadly conflict and you can cover your asp.